Bali. For decades, it's been sold as the ultimate paradise. Golden beaches, temples hidden in the jungle, sunrise yoga, sunset cocktails. But step foot on the island today, and you'll find another story. Traffic jams that stretch for miles. Beaches so crowded, you can barely hear the waves. Piles of plastic washing back with the tide. It's still paradise, but it's paradise under pressure. And here's the thing, this isn't just Bali's story. Around the world, dream destinations are starting to buckle under their own success. So what happens when a paradise becomes too popular? This is Bali burnout. Tourism made Bali famous, and it's also what's threatening to break it. Back in the 1970s, Bali welcomed only a few thousand visitors a year. Today, more than 6 million international arrivals annually, plus millions more domestic travelers. On the ground, that means Canggu and Seminyak, traffic jams that feel more like Los Angeles than a tropical island. Ubud, once a quiet spiritual village, now overflowing with boutique hotels and smoothie cafes. Kuta Beach, crowds so dense it's hard to even find a spot on the sand. Tourism fuels jobs and businesses, yes, but many Balinese feel squeezed. Traditional ceremonies compete with party noise. Rice fields, once handed down through generations, are sold to developers. Sacred temples become Instagram backdrops. Tourism leaves more than footprints, trash and plastic. Bali produces thousands of tons of waste daily. Much of it ends up in rivers and oceans. In the rainy season, the beaches can look more like landfills. Water shortages, hotels, villas and infinity pools consume massive amounts of water. Meanwhile, rural villages report wells running dry. Coral reefs. Popular snorkeling spots are suffering from pollution and careless boat traffic. Entire marine ecosystems are under stress. Overdevelopment. Rice terraces, part of Bali's UNESCO-recognized heritage, are being carved up to build villas. The irony? The paradise that people come to see is slowly being destroyed by their presence. And when paradise gets this crowded, opportunity knocks. Not always in the best ways. Taxi drivers who refuse to use meters. Scooter rentals with mystery damage fees. Discount tours that cut corners or skip promised stops. Add in rising petty crime, and suddenly paradise feels less magical, more like a hustle. And here's the twist. It's not just us saying this. In forums, reviews and travel groups, you'll find a growing number of visitors admitting something surprising. They regret going to Bali. Not because the island isn't beautiful, but because the stress, scams and rising costs left them feeling they'd been sold a dream that doesn't exist anymore. That's when paradise starts to feel like a business deal. Indonesia, the world's fourth most populous nation, has its own pressures, and Bali sits at the center. Tourism versus tradition. Culture and ceremony often bend to tourist demand. Visa rules and restrictions. Recent changes include higher fees and tighter rules for digital nomads. For some, it's sustainability. For others, it feels like a cash grab. Economic dependence. During COVID-19, Bali's economy collapsed almost overnight. That deep reliance on tourism makes the island fragile. Local strain. Housing costs soar, traffic clogs villages, and cultural dynamics shift, leaving locals to carry the weight. And beyond Bali, Indonesia is wrestling with bigger national issues, balancing rapid growth with tradition, managing one of the world's largest democracies, and even preparing to move its capital city from Jakarta to Borneo. And beyond Bali, Indonesia is wrestling with bigger national issues, balancing rapid growth with tradition, managing one of the world's largest democracies, and even preparing to move its capital city from Jakarta to Borneo. Can Bali sustain its growth? So here's the question. Can Bali keep growing like this? Yes, more tourists mean more money, but also more strain. Some steps are being tried, banning single-use plastics, adding tourist taxes, limiting temple access. But is it enough to protect Bali's culture, nature, and people? And here's the uncomfortable truth. The problem isn't just Bali's, it's ours. Every traveler who books that bargain flight, every Instagram shot chasing likes, every villa that promises authenticity but sits on land once used for rice farming, we're part of the burnout. The real question isn't what's wrong with Bali, it's what kind of traveler are we choosing to be? Right now Bali stands at a crossroads, but so do we. So what if you want the Bali vibe, without the burnout? Sri Lanka, beaches, temples and tea-covered hills. Lombok, Indonesia, quieter beaches and the stunning Mount Rinjani. Flores and Komodo Islands, raw culture and epic landscapes. Cambodia's coast, Kampot and Kep for charm, Sihanoukville for beaches, away from the casinos. Philippines, Siargao and Palawan, Paradise Islands, snorkeling and a slower pace. These aren't perfect replacements, but they offer what travelers are really chasing: beauty, calm and authenticity. Our next stop, Lisbon, Portugal. On the surface, it's the picture of European charm. Cobblestone streets, golden sunsets over the Tagus River, trams rattling past tiled houses. But beneath the beauty, Lisbon is reaching its breaking point. Locals are getting priced out as short-term rentals skyrocket. Neighborhoods once full of families now feel more like hotels. And protests are erupting, with banners reading, "Lisbon is not for sale." At the same time, cruise ships flood the port. Digital nomads arrive with dollar and euro salaries, and the city struggles to hold onto its soul. The question we'll explore: is Lisbon becoming Europe's next Bali? Or is it writing a different story about how to balance tourism, culture, and everyday life? Stay tuned, because if you thought Bali was complicated, Lisbon will surprise you in ways you might not expect. Bali will always be Bali, a place of beauty, culture, and unforgettable experiences. But paradise comes at a cost, and right now, Bali is paying that price. The real question isn't should you go, it's how you go, respectfully, mindfully, with an awareness of the pressures the island faces. Because paradise isn't just palm trees and sunsets, it's balance. And Bali's future depends on whether travelers, and the world, can help restore it. If you found this video eye-opening, hit that like button. It helps us reach more travelers who care about where their journeys take them. And tell us in the comments, would you still visit Bali, or would you choose a quieter alternative? Stay tuned, because next we're heading to Lisbon to see if Europe's hottest city can survive its own wave of overtourism.